Success is about resilience. Never quit regardless of obstacles. In life, every person will face challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who fall into mediocrity lies in their ability to keep going despite adversity. The world does not reward those who give up at the first sign of difficulty. It rewards those who persist, adapt, and refuse to accept failure as a final outcome. The most successful individuals are not necessarily the smartest or the most talented, but the ones who possess an unbreakable will to push through when things get tough. Every journey towards success is filled with resistance. It is easy to be motivated when things are going well, but true strength is measured when everything seems to be falling apart. The mind plays a crucial role in determining success or failure. When a person tells themselves that giving up is an option, they open the door to weakness. However, when quitting is removed as a possibility, the only direction left is forward. This is what separates those who build empires from those who settle for an average existence. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is a necessary part of the process. Every great entrepreneur, athlete, or leader has failed more times than the average person has even tried. The only way to build resilience is to face failure head on and keep moving forward. Most people fear failure so much that they never take risks. They remain trapped in their comfort zones, afraid of looking foolish or making mistakes. But the reality is that failure is a lesson, a stepping stone toward improvement. Every setback is an opportunity to learn, grow, and refine one's approach. The most resilient individuals do not allow failure to define them. Instead, they use it as fuel to push harder. Challenges and hardships are a part of life, and they serve a purpose. Without difficulty, there would be no growth. Every struggle builds mental toughness, discipline, and character. People who avoid hardship remain weak, while those who embrace struggle become unstoppable. When an individual chooses to endure discomfort and fight through pain, they develop a mindset that cannot be broken. This level of resilience is what allows people to achieve extraordinary things. Most individuals give up too soon because they focus on the immediate pain rather than the long-term reward. They let temporary discomfort dictate their decisions, and as a result, they never reach their full potential. The truth is that pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. Every person who has ever accomplished something great has had moments where they wanted to quit. The difference is that they pushed through those moments. They understood that success is on the other side of persistence. One of the greatest strengths a person can develop is the ability to keep moving forward no matter what. Life is unpredictable, and there will always be unexpected obstacles. Whether it is financial struggles, personal loss, or external setbacks, the only way to succeed is to keep going. The world is full of people who had talent and potential but never achieved their dreams because they lacked the resilience to persist through difficulties. Meanwhile, those who refuse to quit eventually reach the top. Discipline and consistency are the keys to unbreakable willpower. Motivation fades, and there will be days when everything feels impossible. However, those who develop discipline push forward regardless of how they feel. They understand that emotions are temporary, but actions create lasting results. Small daily efforts compound over time, and even when progress seems slow, consistency ensures that success is inevitable. The ability to endure hardship is what forges a person into someone capable of greatness. Every champion, every leader, every successful person has endured rejection, failure, and setbacks. They did not quit when things got hard. They used the difficulties as fuel to push forward. The greatest individuals in history were not the ones who had the easiest path, but the ones who refused to break under pressure. Most people settle for less than they are capable of because they choose comfort over growth. They allow fear to control them and prefer an easy path rather than a difficult but rewarding one. However, those who understand the power of resilience know that nothing worth having comes without struggle. They know that pain is temporary, and in discipline and consistency are the foundation of unbreakable willpower. Success is never about luck or talent alone. It is about the relentless pursuit of a goal, no matter how many obstacles appear along the way. Those who achieve greatness are not the ones who had the easiest path, but the ones who refuse to stop moving forward when things got difficult. No matter what field a person chooses to pursue, whether in business, fitness, sports, or personal development, the principle remains the same. Success is only possible for those who refuse to quit. In life, the road to success is filled with challenges. It is inevitable that difficulties will arise. But how a person responds to those difficulties determines their future. Most people allow setbacks to define them, using failure as an excuse to stop trying. They convince themselves that success is only for those who were born with better opportunities, more intelligence, or more natural talent. But in reality, the only thing separating those who succeed from those who don't is persistence. The strongest individuals are the ones who continue to move forward, even when everything seems to be against them. Failure is a part of every journey. No one achieves anything significant without experiencing failure along the way. The difference between those who reach their goals and those who give up is their perspective on failure. Weak-minded individuals see failure as a sign that they should stop trying. They believe that if something doesn't work immediately, it was never meant for them. But those who truly understand the path to success see failure as a lesson. Every mistake, every rejection, and every loss is an opportunity to grow stronger. They analyze their failures, adjust their approach, and keep going. Pain and struggle are temporary, but the rewards of resilience last a lifetime. Many people quit when they face discomfort because they focus too much on short-term suffering instead of long-term success. They allow fear, doubt, and frustration to control them, and as a result, they never achieve their true potential. But those who push through discomfort, who refuse to quit even when everything seems impossible, are the ones who eventually reach the top. The most successful people in the world were not handed their achievements on a silver platter. They fought for everything they have. They endured rejection, criticism, and countless failures. They worked harder than anyone else and remained consistent even when no one believed in them. It is this level of resilience that separates the elite from the average. The willingness to keep pushing forward despite pain, setbacks, and obstacles is what creates champions. Mental toughness is developed through experience. It is built in moments of difficulty when a person chooses to keep going instead of giving up. Those who avoid hardship and seek comfort will always remain weak, while those who embrace challenges become unbreakable. Every obstacle is an opportunity to grow stronger. Every failure is a chance to improve. Those who understand this will never fear struggle. They will welcome it as a necessary part of their journey. Excuses destroy progress. People who fail often blame external circumstances for their lack of success. They say they don't have enough time, resources, or opportunities. They convince themselves that life is unfair, that they are victims of bad luck, and that success is only for the privileged few. But the truth is, those who are truly committed to their goals find a way. They do not allow excuses to dictate their future. They work harder, push through limitations, and create their own opportunities. Resilience is a choice. Every day, a person has the choice to keep going or to give up. No matter how difficult the journey becomes, there is always a way forward. It may take longer than expected, and it may require sacrifices, but quitting is never an option for those who want to achieve greatness. Those who develop an unbreakable willpower understand that setbacks are temporary, but giving up lasts forever. History remembers those who refuse to quit. The greatest leaders, athletes, entrepreneurs, and visionaries all had one thing in common. They kept going when others would have stopped. They endured more pain, faced more rejection, and overcame more obstacles than anyone else. They were not special or gifted in some extraordinary way. They simply refused to break under pressure. Success is not about how many times a person falls. It is about how many times they get back up. The only way to fail is to quit, and the only way to succeed is to keep pushing forward no matter what. No challenge is too great for those who refuse to surrender. Those who understand this truth become unstoppable. The ability to endure hardship is what separates those who achieve greatness from those who remain stagnant. Life is full of challenges, setbacks, and disappointments, and it is in these moments that a person's true character is revealed. Many people give up at the first sign of difficulty because they allow fear, doubt, and discomfort to control them. However, those who develop the mental toughness to keep moving forward, regardless of how many obstacles stand in their way, are the ones who eventually reach their goals. Success is not given to those who wait for the perfect conditions. It is earned by those who refuse to quit no matter what happens. Most people underestimate the power of persistence. They see successful individuals and assume that their achievements came easily, but what they do not see is the struggle behind the success. Every great entrepreneur, athlete, or leader has faced rejection, failure, and criticism. They have had moments where everything seemed impossible, yet they refuse to stop. This is the key difference between those who succeed and those who don't. It is not intelligence, talent, or luck that determines success. It is the ability to keep going despite adversity. Failure is inevitable on the path to success. No one who has ever achieved anything meaningful has done so without first experiencing failure. The problem is that most people view failure as a final defeat rather than a lesson. They take one setback as a sign that they are not good enough or that their dreams are out of reach. This mindset is what keeps people stuck in mediocrity. The truth is that failure is simply feedback. It is an opportunity to learn, adjust, and improve. Those who understand this see failure as part of the process rather than a reason to give up. Pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. Most people give up because they focus too much on the immediate discomfort rather than the long-term reward. They allow short-term struggles to dictate their long-term future. But those who are willing to endure discomfort, who push through when everything feels overwhelming, are the ones who eventually break through. No matter how difficult things become, quitting is never the solution. Every moment of pain, frustration, and exhaustion is temporary. But if a person quits, they live with the regret of never knowing what could have been. The strongest individuals in history are not those who had an easy path, but those who faced the most adversity and refused to break. They understood that every obstacle was an opportunity to grow stronger. Instead of avoiding difficulty, they embraced it, knowing that it was necessary for their development. The weak seek comfort and avoid struggle, but the strong see struggle as a necessary step toward success. They know that resilience is not built in moments of ease, but in times of hardship. Excuses are the enemy of progress. People who fail often justify their lack of success by blaming circumstances, lack of resources, or bad luck. They convince themselves that the odds are against them and that they have no control over their situation. But those who truly want to succeed do not allow excuses to dictate their lives. They take full responsibility for their progress and refuse to let external factors determine their future. They understand that every setback is a chance to prove their strength and push forward. Resilience is a choice. Every day, a person is faced with the decision to either keep going or give up. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is that successful individuals make the decision to keep going, No matter how hard it gets, there's always a way forward, no matter how many times a person falls. It may take longer than expected, and it may require more effort than originally planned, but persistence always leads to progress. History is filled with examples of individuals who refused to give up. The greatest leaders, athletes, and entrepreneurs all had moments where they could have quit, but they didn't. They endured rejection, loss, and hardship, but instead of allowing those experiences to break them, they used them as motivation. They were not the most gifted or the most privileged. They were simply the ones who refused to stop trying. Success is not about how many times a person fails, but how many times they get back up. There is no failure unless a person chooses to quit. Every obstacle is a test, and those who pass are the ones who do not allow anything to stand in their way. Those who develop an unbreakable mindset become unstoppable, because nothing can break a person who refuses to be defeated. Success is about resilience. Never quit regardless of obstacles. Life is full of challenges, hardships, and unexpected difficulties that test every individual's strength and determination. Those who achieve greatness are not the ones who had an easy path, nor are they the most talented or fortunate. They are the ones who refuse to surrender when everything seemed to be against them. Every struggle, every failure, and every setback is an opportunity to grow stronger. The ability to persist in the face of adversity is what separates those who succeed from those who fall behind. Many people quit too soon because they allow pain and discomfort to dictate their actions. The reality is that nothing worthwhile comes without struggle. Success requires sacrifice, hard work, and an unshakable mindset. There will be moments of doubt, times when everything seems to be falling apart, but those who push through these moments are the ones who achieve their goals. The key is to develop a mindset where quitting is never an option. Those who refuse to stop moving forward eventually reach their destination, while those who give up are left wondering what could have been. One of the biggest reasons people fail is their perception of failure itself. Most people see failure as a final defeat, as proof that they are not capable of succeeding. However, the truth is that failure is simply part of the process. Every mistake, every rejection, and every obstacle is an opportunity to learn and improve. The most successful individuals in the world have failed more times than most people have even tried. They understand that every setback is a lesson, and they use these lessons to refine their approach and become better. Those who give up after experiencing failure never realize that success was just on the other side of persistence. Resilience is not something a person is born with. It is built through experience. The more someone pushes through difficult times, the stronger they become. Every hardship is a test of mental toughness, and those who refuse to give up develop an unbreakable mindset. They learn to embrace discomfort, knowing that it is temporary and that the rewards of persistence last forever. On the other hand, those who constantly seek comfort and avoid struggle remain weak and unprepared for the real challenges of life. The ability to endure pain and keep moving forward is what turns ordinary people into extraordinary individuals. Pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. Many people allow short-term struggles to dictate their long-term future. They give up because the journey is difficult, not realizing that every moment of hardship brings them one step closer to success. When someone stops in the middle of the road, they guarantee their own failure. But when they continue moving forward, even in the face of pain, they eventually break through and reach their goal. Those who understand this principle never allow momentary discomfort to make them abandon their dreams. There is no shortcut to success. Many people look for an easy way out, hoping to achieve their goals without enduring hardship. But those who truly succeed are the ones who embrace the struggle. They understand that growth happens in difficult moments, that every challenge they face is shaping them into the person they need to become. They do not look for excuses or blame external circumstances. Instead, they take full responsibility for their success and refuse to let anything stand in their way. The strongest people in history were not the ones who had the least struggles, they were the ones who overcame the most. They faced rejection, failures, and hardships, but instead of letting those experiences break them, they used them as motivation. They knew that if they kept going, no matter how hard it got, they would eventually reach their goals. This level of determination is what makes the difference between those who achieve greatness and those who settle for mediocrity. Excuses destroy potential. Many people fail because they convince themselves that their situation is different, that they have more obstacles than others, or that success is not meant for them. They allow negative thoughts to control their actions, and as a result, they never reach their full potential. But those who refuse to make excuses, who take control of their lives and push forward regardless of circumstances, are the ones who achieve success. They do not allow fear or doubt to dictate their choices. They simply do the work day in and day out until they get where they want to be. There will always be reasons to quit. Life is full of distractions, difficulties, and moments where giving up seems like the easiest option. But those who develop an unbreakable willpower understand that quitting is not an option. They know that no matter how hard things get, there is always a way forward. They refuse to let setbacks define them, and they push forward with relentless determination. This mindset is what separates the weak from the strong, the average from the exceptional. Success is not about how many times a person falls. It is about how many times they get back up. There is no failure unless a person decides to quit. Every obstacle is a test, and those who pass are the ones who refuse to be stopped by anything. Those who understand this truth become unstoppable because nothing can break a person who refuses to be defeated. Resilience is the foundation of success, And those who refuse to quit, no matter the obstacles they face, are the ones who ultimately achieve their goals. Life is filled with challenges, setbacks, and moments of uncertainty that test a person's determination. Those who give up too soon will never reach their full potential, while those who persist, despite the difficulties, will eventually succeed. The journey toward any worthwhile goal is never smooth, and those who expect an easy path will always fall short. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is not intelligence, talent, or luck. It is the ability to endure, to keep going even when everything seems impossible. Many people underestimate the power of persistence. They see successful individuals and assume their journey was effortless, failing to recognize the countless failures, rejections, and struggles that came before success. The reality is that the most accomplished people in the world have failed more times than the average person has even attempted. They understand that failure is not the end, but rather a stepping stone toward growth. Every mistake, every challenge, and every setback is an opportunity to learn and improve. The key to success is to develop an unshakable mindset where quitting is never an option. No matter how difficult the circumstances become, those who continue pushing forward will always be the ones who rise above the rest. One of the biggest reasons people fail is that they allow fear and discomfort to dictate their actions. They encounter difficulties and immediately look for an escape, convincing themselves that success is beyond their reach. They allow negative thoughts to control them, believing that their challenges are unique or that life is unfair. However, the truth is that struggle is a universal experience. Every person who has ever accomplished something meaningful has had moments of doubt, moments where quitting seemed like the logical choice. The difference is that they did not give in to those emotions. Instead, they use their struggles as motivation to work harder and prove themselves. Pain is temporary, but the regret of quitting lasts forever. Many people give up because they focus on the short-term discomfort rather than the long-term reward. They convince themselves that the effort is not worth it, failing to recognize that every great achievement requires sacrifice. Those who truly want success are willing to endure the hardships that come with it. They understand that the path to greatness is not easy, but they choose to push through anyway. When everything seems overwhelming, they remind themselves that the struggle is only temporary. If they keep going, they will eventually break through. If they quit, they guarantee their own failure. Strength is built in moments of difficulty. It is easy to stay committed when things are going well, but true resilience is developed when everything seems to be falling apart. Those who embrace hardship and push through discomfort become unbreakable. They realize that every obstacle is an opportunity to grow stronger, to become more disciplined, and to prove to themselves that they can overcome anything. On the other hand, those who constantly seek comfort and avoid struggle remain weak and unprepared for the challenges of life. The ability to endure pain and keep moving forward is what separates extraordinary individuals from everyone else. Excuses are the enemy of progress. Many people fail not because they lack potential, but because they convince themselves that success is impossible for them. They blame external circumstances, their environment, or their past failures. They allow doubt and fear to dictate their actions, and as a result, they never fully commit to their goals. But those who refuse to make excuses, who take responsibility for their future, and who push forward regardless of the challenges they face are the ones who ultimately win. They do not allow setbacks to define them. They use them as fuel to work even harder. There will always be reasons to quit. There will always be moments of exhaustion, frustration, and discouragement. But those who develop the mental toughness to keep going no matter what are the ones who reach their destination. They understand that every challenge they face is simply a test of their willpower. They refuse to let temporary pain stop them from achieving long-term success. They are relentless in their pursuit of their goals, and they never allow obstacles to break them. This mindset is what separates those who succeed from those who settle for less. History remembers those who refuse to quit. The greatest leaders, athletes, entrepreneurs, and innovators all faced rejection, failure, and adversity. They could have given up, but they didn't. They pushed forward when no one believed in them. They endured criticism, setbacks, and moments of complete despair. But they kept going because they knew that success was only possible for those who refused to surrender. Their resilience is what made them great, and their unwillingness to give up is what led them to victory. Success is not about how many times a person fails, it is about how many times they get back up. There is no such thing as permanent failure unless a person chooses to quit. Every setback is an opportunity to grow stronger, to learn valuable lessons, and to refine one's approach. Those who understand this truth become unstoppable. Nothing can break a person who refuses to be defeated, who continues moving forward no matter how difficult the journey becomes. The world belongs to those who never quit. The ability to push through challenges and keep moving forward, no matter how difficult things get, is what separates those who succeed from those who fail. Life is full of obstacles, setbacks, and hardships that test every individual's strength and determination. Many people dream of success, but only a few are willing to do what it takes to achieve it. The path to greatness is not easy, and those who expect immediate results or an effortless journey will always fall short. The key to success lies in perseverance. The willingness to continue striving even when everything seems to be against you. Most people fail because they give up too soon. They encounter a few difficulties, face some rejection, or experience failure, and they convince themselves that they are not meant to succeed. They allow negative thoughts to take control, and instead of pushing through, they choose the easier option, quitting. However, those who truly want to achieve something in life understand that failure is not the end. It is simply part of the process. Every great individual, whether in business, sports, or any other field, has faced moments of doubt and difficulty. The difference is that they refused to let these moments define them. They understood that the only way to truly fail is to stop trying. Success requires patience and endurance. Many people look for shortcuts, hoping to achieve their goals quickly and without effort. They want instant gratification and become frustrated when things do not happen as fast as they would like. But those who achieve real, lasting success understand that it takes time. They know that setbacks are temporary and that persistence is the only way to overcome them. They do not let short-term pain dictate their long-term future. Instead, they focus on the bigger picture, trusting that if they keep pushing forward, they will eventually reach their destination. Resilience is built through struggle. It is easy to stay committed when everything is going smoothly, but true strength is developed when things become difficult. Those who embrace hardship and refuse to give up become stronger with each challenge they overcome. Every obstacle is an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to prove to themselves that they have what it takes. On the other hand, those who avoid struggle and give up at the first sign of difficulty never reach their full potential. They remain stuck in a cycle of disappointment, never experiencing the true rewards of perseverance. One of the biggest enemies of success is the habit of making excuses. People who fail often blame external factors for their lack of progress. They convince themselves that they do not have enough time, resources, or opportunities. They allow self-doubt to control their actions and convince themselves that success is impossible for them. However, those who truly want to succeed take full responsibility for their lives. They refuse to let circumstances dictate their future. Instead of making excuses, they find solutions. They understand that every obstacle can be overcome with the right mindset and enough determination. There will always be moments where giving up seems like the easiest option. Life will test your patience, your strength, and your commitment. There will be times when you feel like nothing is working, when everything seems to be falling apart. In these moments, the difference between success and failure is the decision to keep going. Those who push through the toughest times always come out stronger on the other side. They understand that pain is temporary, but the rewards of perseverance last forever. History is filled with examples of individuals who refused to quit. The most successful people in the world did not achieve greatness because their path was easy. They endured countless failures, rejections, and hardships. They were criticized, doubted, and faced moments where everything seemed hopeless. But they kept going. They refused to let setbacks define them, and because of their persistence, they ultimately achieved extraordinary things. This level of determination is what separates winners from those who settle for less. Success is not about how talented or lucky you are. It is about how willing you are to endure hardship. Every person who's ever accomplished something significant has faced adversity. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is simple: one group keeps going, while the other gives up. If you want to achieve anything in life, you must develop the mental toughness to keep moving forward, no matter how hard things get. You must learn to see failure as a lesson rather than a defeat, to embrace challenges instead of avoiding them. The truth is that there is no final failure unless you choose to stop trying. Every setback is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to improve. If you refuse to quit, no obstacle can stop you. If you persist long enough, success becomes inevitable. The world belongs to those who never give up, to those who keep pushing forward when others have already surrendered. Nothing can break a person who refuses to be defeated. The ability to keep pushing forward, no matter how difficult the journey becomes, is what ultimately determines success. Life is filled with challenges, and the people who achieve great things are not necessarily the smartest, the most talented, or the luckiest. They are the ones who refuse to quit. They face rejection, failure, disappointment, and hardship, yet they continue moving forward. The difference between those who succeed and those who do not is not their level of intelligence or skill, but rather their willingness to endure the struggles that come with the pursuit of success. Many people give up too easily because they expect the road to success to be smooth and effortless. The reality is that every great achievement requires sacrifice, persistence, and an unwavering belief in oneself. Those who succeed are the ones who keep going despite the setbacks, despite the pain, and despite the moments of doubt. They understand that failure is not the opposite of success, but a necessary part of it. Every mistake, every rejection, and every obstacle is an opportunity to grow stronger and become better. The biggest enemy of progress is the mindset that quitting is an option. When people allow themselves to believe that they can give up whenever things get difficult, they will always find a reason to quit. There will always be struggles, but those who develop the mental toughness to endure them are the ones who reach their goals. Those who look for excuses to stop trying will always find them, but those who look for reasons to keep going will always push forward no matter what stands in their way. Resilience is not something a person is born with. It is developed through experience. Every time someone chooses to keep going despite hardship, they become stronger. Every time they push through pain, they build the kind of character that leads to success. People who avoid struggle and quit when things get hard never experience growth. They stay in the same place, making excuses for why they did not reach their full potential. But those who embrace difficulty and see it as a necessary part of the journey are the ones who achieve greatness. Pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. Many people give up because they focus too much on the immediate discomfort rather than the long-term reward. They convince themselves that the struggle is not worth it, failing to realize that the pain of discipline and persistence is nothing compared to the pain of regret. The people who achieve their goals are not the ones who never felt like quitting, but the ones who chose to keep going despite those feelings. The only way to truly fail is to stop trying. Success is never guaranteed, but quitting guarantees failure. Many people think that if they encounter obstacles, it means they are on the wrong path. In reality, struggle is a sign that they are moving towards something meaningful. Anything worth achieving requires effort, patience, and the ability to keep going when everything seems to be working against you. Those who understand this refuse to let difficulties break them. They know that every challenge they overcome makes them stronger and more prepared for the success they are working toward. People who achieve great things have all experienced failure, but they did not let it stop them. They kept going when others would have given up. They endured criticism, rejection, and self-doubt, but they never allowed those things to define them. They understood that obstacles were simply tests of their determination, and they refused to fail those tests. They were not always the most talented or privileged, but they were the most persistent. Excuses are the greatest barrier to success. Many people convince themselves that they cannot succeed because of their circumstances, their past, or their perceived limitations. They believe that they are not capable of achieving greatness, so they stop trying. However, those who take full responsibility for their success do not let excuses hold them back. They recognize that life is not always fair, but instead of using that as a reason to give up, they use it as motivation to work even harder. They do not wait for perfect conditions or for someone else to make things easier for them. They create their own opportunities and refuse to stop until they reach their goals. There will always be reasons to quit, but there will also always be reasons to keep going. Every person is faced with a choice: give up and stay where they are, or push forward and see what they are capable of. The people who refuse to quit, no matter how many times they fall, are the ones who achieve success. They do not let failure define them, and they do not let obstacles stop them. They keep moving forward, knowing that as long as they refuse to quit, they will eventually win. The only true failure in life is giving up. Every setback is an opportunity to learn, every struggle is a chance to grow, and every moment of hardship is a step closer to success. Those who keep going, even when everything feels impossible, are the ones who ultimately achieve their dreams. The world belongs to those who refuse to quit. The ability to endure challenges and keep moving forward is what truly defines success. Many people dream of achieving greatness, but only a few are willing to put in the effort required to make that dream a reality. The journey toward any meaningful goal is never easy, and those who expect quick results without struggle will always fall short. The real difference between those who succeed and those who do not is not talent, intelligence, or luck. It is the willingness to persist in the face of adversity. People who give up too soon never realize how close they were to achieving their goals. The road to success is filled with obstacles, failures, and setbacks. But those who understand that these challenges are simply part of the process never allow themselves to be defeated. Many quit because they see failure as a sign that they are not capable, but in reality, failure is one of the most important steps toward success. Every mistake teaches a valuable lesson, every rejection builds resilience, and every struggle strengthens character. Those who push forward despite difficulties develop the mindset required to achieve great things. One of the biggest reasons people fail is their perception of failure itself. Too many people believe that failing means they are not good enough, that they should stop trying, or that success is not meant for them. However, failure is nothing more than opportunity to learn. The most successful people in history have failed more times than the average person has even attempted. They understood that every setback was simply a chance to improve, adjust, and try again. Those who give up after facing failure never realize that they were only a few steps away from a breakthrough. Success requires a mindset where quitting is never an option. The people who reach their goals are the ones who refuse to stop. They do not allow themselves to become discouraged by temporary hardships. They understand that success is not about how quickly they achieve something, but about how committed they are to seeing it through to the end. Many people fail not because they lack ability, because they choose to stop before they reach the finish line. If they had pushed just a little further, they would have discovered that the rewards of persistence always outweigh the pain of struggle. Struggle is not a reason to quit. It is proof that progress is being made. Many people look at challenges as a sign that they are on the wrong path, but in reality, difficulty is a natural part of growth. Anything worth achieving requires effort, patience, and a willingness to endure hardship. Those who embrace this reality and continue pushing forward, even when things get tough, are the ones who eventually succeed. They know that every challenge they overcome makes them stronger and more prepared for future opportunities. Excuses destroy potential. Many people never reach their goals because they convince themselves that success is not possible for them. They blame their circumstances, their environment, or their past failures. They allow negative thoughts to control their actions, and as a result, they never push themselves to their full potential. However, Those who refuse to make excuses and instead take responsibility for their success are the ones who ultimately achieve greatness. They do not wait for the perfect moment or expect an easy path. They put in the work, stay disciplined, and never stop moving forward. There will always be moments where quitting feels like the easiest option. Life will test a person's patience, strength, and dedication. There will be times of frustration, exhaustion, and disappointment. But the people who keep going despite these feelings are the ones who achieve their goals. They understand that pain is temporary, but the rewards of perseverance last forever. They refuse to let setbacks define them and instead use every challenge as an opportunity to grow. History is filled with examples of individuals who refuse to quit. The greatest leaders, entrepreneurs, athletes, and innovators did not achieve success because their journey was easy. They endured countless failures, faced rejection, and had moments of complete despair. But they kept going. They refused to let their struggles break them. And because of their persistence, they reached extraordinary heights. Their determination and resilience were what separated them from those who gave up too soon. Success is not about how many times a person falls. It is about how many times they get back up. There is no failure unless a person decides to quit. Every obstacle is a test, and those who refuse to let anything stop them will always find a way forward. If a person keeps trying, adjusting, and improving, success becomes inevitable. Those who quit will never know what they were capable of, while those who persist will achieve more than they ever thought possible. The truth is that quitting guarantees failure, while persistence keeps the possibility of success alive. Every great achievement is built on the foundation of resilience, and those who refuse to quit are the ones who shape the world. Nothing can stop a person who decides to never give up. The ability to push forward despite adversity is the single most important factor in achieving success. Many people have dreams, aspirations, and goals they want to accomplish, but only a few ever reach the heights they desire. It is not because they lack intelligence, talent, or opportunity. It is because they lack the persistence to continue when things become difficult. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is not found in their circumstances, but in their mindset. Those who refuse to give up, no matter how many obstacles stand in their way, are the ones who ultimately achieve greatness. Challenges are inevitable on the road to success. No one has ever accomplished something significant without encountering difficulties, setbacks, and moments of frustration. The reality is that anything worthwhile requires effort, patience, and resilience. Many people start strong, filled with excitement and motivation, but as soon as they face resistance, they begin to question whether it is worth it. They allow doubts to creep in, and instead of finding solutions, they start making excuses. This is the reason why so many people never reach their true potential. They quit before they give themselves a real chance to succeed. Failure is not the end, it is a lesson. One of the biggest reasons people quit is because they view failure as a permanent defeat instead of a temporary setback. They take rejection personally, see obstacles as signs to stop, and assume that difficulties mean they are not meant to succeed. But the truth is, every successful person has faced failure multiple times. The only difference is that they did not let failure stop them. They used it as an opportunity to learn, improve, and grow stronger. Every time they stumbled, they got back up and kept moving forward. This is what separates the winners from the quitters. The path to success is never easy. Those who expect instant results and immediate rewards will always be disappointed. Success is built through years of dedication, sacrifice, and persistence. Many people give up because they become impatient. They do not see progress as quickly as they would like, so they assume that their efforts are wasted. However, what they fail to realize is that real progress takes time. Just because results are not visible right away does not mean that growth is not happening. Those who trust the process and continue putting in the effort, even when they do not see immediate rewards, are the ones who eventually achieve their goals. Discomfort is a necessary part of growth. Many people quit because they want to avoid struggle, pain, and hardship. They want success, but they do not want to go through the difficult journey required to achieve it. However, real strength is developed through challenges. Those who embrace discomfort and push through it become stronger, more resilient, and better equipped to handle future obstacles. The ability to keep moving forward, even when everything seems difficult, is what builds character and separates the strong from the weak. Excuses are the greatest enemy of success. People who fail often blame their circumstances, their background, or their lack of resources. They convince themselves that they are not capable, that they are unlucky, or that the odds are against them. But those who achieve success never allow excuses to control their actions. They do not wait for the perfect conditions or ideal opportunities. They create them. They take full responsibility for their future and refuse to let anything stop them. No matter what challenges they face, they find a way to keep going. There will always be moments where giving up feels like the easiest option. Life will test patience, strength, and endurance. There will be times of exhaustion, frustration, and uncertainty. But those who keep going despite these challenges are the ones who achieve their dreams. They understand that pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. They know that every challenge they overcome makes them stronger and more prepared for the success they are working toward. History is filled with stories of individuals who refuse to quit. The greatest leaders, athletes, entrepreneurs, and innovators all faced moments of doubt and difficulty. They could have given up, but they chose to persist. They endured failures, setbacks, and rejections, but they never let those things define them. They believed in their goals, and because they refused to quit, they eventually succeeded. Their stories serve as proof that those who persist, no matter how tough things get, are the ones who leave a lasting impact. Success is not about how many times a person falls. It is about how many times they get back up. Every obstacle is an opportunity to grow. Every failure is a chance to learn. Every struggle is a step closer to victory. Those who refuse to let setbacks stop them will always find a way forward. The truth is, as long as a person keeps trying, they have not truly failed. Failure only becomes permanent when a person decides to quit. The world belongs to those who never give up. Those who keep pushing, even when everything seems impossible, are the ones who ultimately reach their goals. The ability to persist through hardship is what separates those who achieve greatness from those who settle for less. Nothing can stop a person who refuses to be defeated. As long as they keep moving forward, success is not a matter of possibility. It is a matter of time. Success is not determined by intelligence, luck, or natural talent. It is determined by an individual's ability to persist, no matter how difficult the journey becomes. Many people start with ambition, setting big goals for themselves, but along the way, they encounter obstacles that shake their confidence. Some people get discouraged and stop trying, while others push forward despite the setbacks. The key difference between those who achieve their goals and those who do not is the simple decision to keep going. Those who refuse to give up, no matter how many times they fail, are the ones who eventually succeed. Challenges are an unavoidable part of the journey towards success. No one in history has ever accomplished something great without facing difficulties. Hardships are not signs that success is impossible. They are tests to see who truly deserves to reach the top. The people who achieve their dreams are not necessarily the most gifted. They are the ones who do not quit when things get tough. They understand that obstacles are not meant to stop them, but to help them grow stronger. Instead of seeing difficulties as reasons to give up, they see them as opportunities to develop resilience and improve. Most people fail not because they lack the ability, but because they lack the persistence to keep going when things become challenging. They assume that if something is too difficult, it is not meant for them. They give up at the first sign of failure, never realizing that failure is simply part of the learning process. Those who achieve success understand that setbacks are not permanent. They know that every mistake, rejection, and difficulty is just another step toward reaching their goal. Instead of quitting, they analyze their failures, learn from them, and try again with more knowledge and experience. There is no easy path to success. Those who expect immediate results or a smooth journey will always be disappointed. The reality is that success takes time, effort, and patience. Many people quit too soon because they do not see immediate progress. They believe that if something does not happen quickly, it will never happen at all. But those who persist understand that progress is often invisible at first. Just because results are not immediately apparent does not mean that hard work is not paying off. The people who achieve their dreams are the ones who trust the process and keep pushing forward, even when they do not see instant rewards. The willingness to endure hardship is what separates those who reach the top from those who remain stuck at the bottom. Struggle is not something to avoid, it is something to embrace. Every difficulty faced is an opportunity to grow stronger. The more a person pushes through tough times, the more resilient they become. Those who quit miss out on the lessons that come with struggle. They remain weak, always wondering what could have been if they had just kept going. But those who push forward despite the pain and frustration become unstoppable. Excuses destroy potential. Many people convince themselves that they cannot succeed because of external circumstances. They blame their lack of resources, their background, or the obstacles in their way. But those who truly want to succeed do not waste time making excuses. They take full responsibility for their progress and refuse to let anything stop them. They know that every challenge has a solution and that no excuse is strong enough to hold them back. The people who reach their goals are the ones who refuse to accept defeat, no matter how difficult things get. There will always be moments when quitting feels like the easiest option. Life will present challenges that test patience, endurance, and strength. There will be times when everything seems to be going wrong, when exhaustion sets in and doubt creeps into the mind. But those who keep going despite these feelings are the ones who achieve their goals. They understand that pain is temporary, but that the rewards of persistence last forever. They refuse to let temporary struggles dictate their future. Instead, they push through, knowing that every challenge overcome brings them one step closer to success. History is filled with examples of people who refuse to quit despite overwhelming odds. The greatest leaders, athletes, and entrepreneurs did not have easy paths to success. They faced rejection, failure, and moments of hopelessness. They could have given up, but they chose to keep going. Because of their persistence, they accomplished things that others only dream of. Their stories prove that success is not about avoiding struggle, but about refusing to give in to it. Those who push through when others quit are the ones who make a lasting impact. Every time a person chooses to keep going instead of giving up, they increase their chances of success. Every challenge they overcome makes them stronger. Every setback they endure brings them closer to their goal. The reality is that success is inevitable for those who refuse to quit. As long as a person continues to try, improve, and push forward, they will eventually reach their destination. The only true failure in life is stopping before the goal is achieved. Those who refuse to quit control their own destiny. No matter how hard things get, As long as they keep moving forward, they will find a way to succeed. It is not about how many times a person falls, it is about how many times they get back up. The world belongs to those who never give up, to those who understand that persistence is the key to achieving anything. Nothing can stop a person who decides that quitting is not an option. The ability to endure, to push through every hardship, and to keep striving for more is what ultimately guarantees success. The journey towards success is never straightforward, nor is it easy. It is filled with challenges, setbacks, and obstacles that test patience and resilience. Many people set goals for themselves, believing that they are capable of achieving greatness, yet as soon as difficulty arises, they begin to question themselves. Doubt creeps in, and the idea of quitting starts to feel like the logical choice. However, those who understand the value of perseverance recognize that success is not about how talented or lucky one is, but about the ability to endure and keep moving forward despite hardships. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is not intelligence, resources, or even opportunity. It is the unwavering decision to never quit. Failure is often misunderstood. Too many people see failure as the ultimate defeat, as proof that they are not good enough or that their goal was never meant to be. But failure is not the end of the road. It is simply part of the process. Every mistake, rejection, and setback carries a lesson that prepares an individual for the next challenge. The only real failure occurs when someone chooses to stop trying. Those who push past their failures and use them as stepping stones to improve are the ones who eventually reach success. The greatest individuals in history, whether in business, sports, science, or art, have failed more times than the average person has even attempted. What set them apart was not their ability to avoid failure, but their refusal to let failure define them. The path to achieving any meaningful goal requires patience. Society today promotes the idea of instant success, making people believe that results should come quickly. When they do not see immediate progress, they become discouraged and assume that they are on the wrong path. However, the reality is that success is a slow and steady process. Growth happens in the background, often unseen, and many quit before they realize how close they were to a breakthrough. Those who stay committed, even when progress seems invisible, are the ones who eventually see their efforts pay off. True progress is built over time, and those who remain patient and persistent will always outperform those who seek shortcuts. Challenges should not be feared but embraced. Hardship is what strengthens character and builds resilience. Many people avoid difficulty, thinking that struggle means they are not capable, but in reality, struggle is the best teacher. Every obstacle presents an opportunity to learn, adapt, and improve. The strongest individuals are those who have faced adversity and refused to back down. They do not let discomfort dictate their actions. Instead, they use challenges to their advantage, growing stronger with every hardship they overcome. When a person learns to embrace difficulty rather than run from it, they unlock their true potential. Excuses are the enemy of progress. Many people fail not because they lack ability, but because they convince themselves that they cannot succeed. They blame external factors, their environment, their past failures, or their lack of resources, rather than taking control of their own destiny. Those who achieve greatness do not waste time making excuses. They find solutions. They do not wait for the perfect opportunity, they create it. They take responsibility for their circumstances and refuse to let anything stop them from moving forward. Success is reserved for those who are willing to take control of their actions, regardless of the challenges they face. There will be moments when quitting seems like the best option. Doubt will arise, frustration will build, and exhaustion will take its toll. It is in these moments that persistence matters most. Anyone can stay motivated when things are easy, but true strength is shown in the moments of struggle. Those who continue to push forward when everything seems to be working against them are the ones who break through barriers. They understand that pain and difficulty are temporary, but the rewards of perseverance last forever. They refuse to let short-term hardships derail their long-term vision. The world is filled with stories of individuals who refuse to quit. The most successful entrepreneurs, athletes, inventors, and leaders did not reach the top because their journey was smooth. They faced rejection, failure, and overwhelming challenges. They had moments of doubt, but instead of giving up, they kept going. Their persistence is what separated them from those who fell short. Every great achievement in history was built on the foundation of perseverance. The difference between those who succeed and those who do not is not the absence of struggle, but the decision to keep moving forward despite it. Success is not about how many times a person stumbles. It is about how many times they rise after falling. Every failure, every setback, and every rejection is simply a test of resilience. Those who refuse to quit, who continue to adapt, improve, and try again are the ones who ultimately reach their goals. There is no such thing as permanent failure unless one decides to stop trying. As long as an individual continues to push forward, success remains within reach. Quitting is the only guaranteed way to fail. Those who persist, no matter how difficult the road becomes, will always find a way to succeed. Life rewards those who are willing to endure, to fight through discomfort, and to push beyond their limits. The key to achieving anything is not extraordinary talent or luck. It is the simple but powerful choice to never give up. Those who refuse to quit will always find themselves ahead of those who do. The world belongs to those who keep going, no matter what. The greatest determining factor in success is not talent, intelligence, or luck. It is resilience. The ability to keep moving forward, even in the face of hardship, is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who fall short. Many people begin their journey with enthusiasm, setting ambitious goals and dreaming of a better future. As soon as they encounter obstacles, they hesitate, they allow doubt to creep in, and suddenly, the excitement they once felt begins to fade. What they fail to realize is that every significant achievement requires overcoming adversity. There is no easy path to success, and those who refuse to give up, no matter how difficult things get, are the ones who eventually reach their destination. Failure is inevitable, but it is not final. One of the biggest reasons people give up is because they view failure as the end rather than a lesson. They assume that if they fail once or twice, they are not meant to succeed. But history has repeatedly shown that failure is simply a stepping stone on the path to greatness. Every mistake, every rejection, and every setback carries valuable lessons that can be used to improve and grow. The people who ultimately achieve their dreams are not the ones who never fail, but the ones who refuse to let failure stop them. They understand that failure is not a sign to quit. It is proof that they are trying, learning, and moving forward. Success does not come quickly, and those who expect immediate results will always be disappointed. The modern world has conditioned people to seek instant gratification, making them believe that if they do not see progress right away, they must be on the wrong path. However, real success is built over time. Growth is often slow and invisible at first, which is why so many people give up too soon. They assume that their efforts are not paying off, unaware that progress is happening beneath the surface. Those who stay committed, even when they do not see immediate results, are the ones who eventually achieve their goals. The key is to trust the process and remain consistent even when the rewards are not yet visible. Adversity is not something to avoid. It is something to embrace. Many people assume that struggle is a sign they are not meant to succeed, but in reality, struggle is what builds strength. The most resilient individuals are those who have faced difficulties and refuse to back down. They do not run from challenges. They welcome them as opportunities to grow. Every obstacle overcome adds to their strength, making them more capable of handling future difficulties. Those who achieve greatness are not the ones who had an easy path, but the ones who endured hardship and came out stronger on the other side. Making excuses is the fastest way to fail. People who do not succeed often blame their circumstances, their lack of resources, or their past experiences. They convince themselves that they cannot achieve their goals because of external factors, but those who truly want success do not allow excuses to hold them back. They take full responsibility for their actions and their future. They do not wait for the perfect moment or the ideal situation. They create it. No matter what obstacles they face, they find a way to keep moving forward. Success is not given. It is earned through relentless effort and an unwillingness to give up. There will always be moments when giving up feels like the easiest option. When progress is slow, when exhaustion sets in, and when doubt begins to take over, quitting may seem tempting. But the people who achieve their dreams are the ones who push forward despite these feelings. They understand that pain and hardship are temporary, but quitting lasts forever. Every challenge they overcome brings them one step closer to their goal. The ability to persist through the toughest moments is what defines true strength. History is filled with examples of individuals who refused to quit. The most successful entrepreneurs, athletes, and leaders all faced rejection, failure, and overwhelming challenges. They had every reason to give up, but they did not. Instead, they kept going, learning from their mistakes and improving along the way. Their persistence is what ultimately led them to success. Their stories serve as a reminder that greatness is not reserved for those who never struggle, but for those who refuse to let struggle defeat them. Every setback is an opportunity to grow. Every failure is a lesson. Every difficulty is a test of resilience. Those who refuse to quit, who continue to adapt and push forward, are the ones who eventually reach their goals. The only way to truly fail is to stop trying. As long as an individual keeps moving forward, success remains within reach. Quitting guarantees failure. No matter how difficult the journey becomes, those who persist will always find a way to succeed. Life rewards those who are willing to endure, to fight through adversity, and to keep striving for more. Talent and luck may play a role in success, but they are never enough on their own. The key to achieving anything is the simple decision to never give up. The world belongs to those who refuse to quit. No matter what stands in the way, persistence is the force that ensures eventual victory.